this year on Thacker and the Chucky series. 3 seasons in, and so far, I've loved it. So when season 3 was split in half, because of the writers and actor strikes that happened last year, I was very much excited for part 2 of Chucky season 3. As you know, I really enjoyed part 1. I thought it was really good. So 6 months later, we finally have Chucky season 3 part 2. And I think it's pretty good. Overall, if I'd rate the series in total, I'd say it's pretty good. I think this season of Chucky is a more unique and interesting stuff compared to the rest of the Chucky franchise. It's tried a lot of new and unique things. I really appreciate that. This season really toyed around with ghosts and really dived into the paranormal aspects of the Chucky franchise. Now I've seen some people say this feels a bit, out of place for Chucky. And yeah, to an extent I do kind of agree with that. But I think what they do with the concept, since it's so unique for the Chucky franchise done so well, that I didn't really mind it. At one point there was a scene that reminded me of Cult of Chucky, with the 3 Chucky trio, but here we got like 7, and that was very funny. Like in the final episode we get a lot of versions of Chucky, his child self, his teenage self, adult self, old man self. We even get Colonel Chucky, Buff Chucky, and Good Chucky for season 2. I was kind of hoping we get more Chuckies than just them. Like maybe Char Chucky, Stiff Chucky, etc, etc. But what we did get was good. And I honestly really find it funny having the original OG Child's Play Chucky arguing with this, current old Chucky, played by Brad and Fiona Dourif, which I thought was just really neat and just, again, really funny. And I do really like the spirit world. It gave me vibes of The Shining and even Beetlejuice. It was also kind of emotional getting a reunion and kind of closing off of Jake and his father. I also like how Brad Dourif and Zachary Arthur play off against each other. And it was really nice and neat to see Human Charles Lee Ray again. That's just the entire season. It's just neat. Probably some of my favorite parts of the season were Ghost Chucky. Since last time we got Brad Dourif, in person in Chucky was in Curse of Chucky. And as a nerd about paranormal stuff, I always love watching movies that deal with the paranormal and ghosts and picking out what they get right, what they get wrong. So like Chucky, Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters, Poltergeist, etc, etc. And I really love Jake being possessed by Chucky. It wasn't for a whole ton, what we did get was really good. Zachary Arthur does an amazing impression of Chucky Brad Dourif. It also generally felt really suspenseful seeing Chucky almost set off the nukes, almost killing 8 billion people, almost getting the highest kill count out of any slasher, and even Chucky nuking the North Pole. No other slasher can say they've ever done that. So next time you see someone making fun of Chucky because he's a doll, just give them a friendly reminder that he almost nuked 8 billion people. And of course I love the scene where Chucky was flipping through the TV channels. It made me think of other killer doll movies, including M3gan. That made me laugh pretty long and pretty good. I also really liked how they did the physical representation of Damballa, having it just be Chucky. I thought that was better than trying to give an actual physical representation since being in this franchise since the very beginning. Science always been so mysterious and unknown. I'm also pretty sure Chucky is the first slasher to ever kill the president. Correct me if I'm wrong. I also like the excuse to have Devon Sawa back for another character after the president was killed, playing a stand-in for the president. I actually really enjoyed that character. In his death scene, where the elevator fills with blood, and we get a great Chucky transition, I really thought they were gonna pull a Shining, and the whole scene, the White House going up in flames. I'm a sucker for fire scenes. I love scenes where a big place is just on fire and the characters have to try to run and escape through all the mayhem. Some of those scenes just really get to me. I love them. So seeing the White House give this treatment was really cool. Not saying the White House being on fire is cool, but in this fictional series, I'm all up for it. And the whole scene of Tiffany escaping her execution and the prison was honestly pretty goofy, even for me. I don't mind goofy Chucky, but this scene, it was a bit much for me. The one guard that was protecting Tiffany and got shot 7, 8 times by a sniper. It just kept going and going, and it looked like a rag doll, and it was really goofy, and maybe a bit just too much just for me. But the kills in this season were still very unique and nicely done. And since we didn't really get a wrap up for the presidential family, I'm sure Grant will at least return in season 4. Which I did like his character to an extent. I didn't love everything, but I did like him. Same with all the new characters. I thought they were honestly just fairly good. So far, I was loving the finale of season 3. All these loose ends were getting tied up. Some little small cracks were being opened, make way for the future. But then after the White House fire, the Hackensack trio go to the house of the creator of the Good Guy dolls, played by John Waters, who was also in Sea of Chucky. And it's revealed that he's crazy. Caroline convinced him to join Damballa, which I thought was interesting. I do like getting backstory on the Good Guy doll and how it was made and why it was made. And then they get Chucky back into a Good Guy doll body, because of course, Tiffany gets back in a Tiffany doll body, which I will say I don't mind, but I think maybe Tiffany's overstayed welcome in this franchise. I can't think of what else they could do with her in this franchise, but if they can make it work, then, you know, they can make it work. And then they put the Hackensack trio into little tiny marionettes. Which I've always actually loved the idea of like a good character in the Chucky franchise going to a doll body. I just didn't think it'd be little teeny tiny marionettes. And Nika gets involved and we have no idea what happens to her. And then Chucky, Tiffany, and Caroline arrive into the night, leaving us on a cliffhanger for season 4. If it does happen, because it has not been confirmed yet. Although Don Mancini has said he has pitched it to Sci-Fi. So I do hope it does happen, because I do want these answers and problems solved. Now, I don't have a problem with any things done in this finale episode. It's just that it was like 6 or 7 things introduced in like 15 minutes. A large majority of which are the exact same time, so I'm not entirely sure if I love that or slightly dislike it. But again, I do want season 4. But overall, I did really enjoy Chucky season 3. I thought it was pretty good. But let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think about it? And do you want a season 4? Bye guys for now! Bye, Thacker.